Good afternoon, fellow fart sniffers and other disgusting, foul degenerates out there. I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's been a great day. It's been a long day. Let's get into it. And real quick, today's sponsor is BINGX for all of my degenerates and other leverage lords out there. You too today can get up to 150x exposure to your favorite underlying, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Forex, S&P 500 futures, indices, name it. Use the code INDIGO54OP8. That is I54OP8, or use the link in the description for a free $100 deposit. Support your boy and join, conquer, cavalier the leveraged battlefields. All right, let's get into it. Had another great day. We called SPY to the T on Twitter. It was a pretty wild day to say the least. We rode this thing all the way up, and I guess technically we called it yesterday too, because we were calling for the morning flush and then a rip, and so SPY closed up 1.4% in the green, and just a pretty solid trend. I don't agree with the fundamentals here. I don't think that the S&P 500 should be where it's at, or any other major equity for that matter that isn't related to volatility products or yields. But yeah, going into tomorrow, so there, and shout out to Pops, by the way, my Dadstro, for reminding me that tomorrow is the FOMC meeting minutes, which historically has caused some pretty interesting things to happen for those that aren't aware of it, and because it's just a document, typically, most people aren't aware of it. And so when those things get dropped, a bunch of algorithms start to parse it and figure out what's going on. All that stupid smart stuff, right? And are going to trade the market based on whatever the notes have to say. So it could be extremely good or extremely bad. We will find out. So we are going to hedge tomorrow and probably close out the majority of our positions, or at least say 80%, to sit on cash and or hedge with some puts. Maybe even buy some calls on volatility products. We will see. SPY though, overall, this is the ripper dip zone. I would have liked to have seen us down at 380, 385 by now. Shout out to Welch, by the way, Co-Fibonacci. That dude, my brother from another mother, man. He was the one contrarian to the whole bear thesis, and so like talking with him and listening to him and reading his tweets kind of gave me a different lens to look through. And if it wasn't for that, I would have been short this entire time and would have gotten annihilated. So shout out to him and all of his work. So I would have liked to have seen us down to like 385 by now, maybe 386, but it's just been like redistribution this entire time. On the daily, we called out yesterday that we were above daily distribution, and so lo and behold, it went up. This is the ripper dip zone. This is quite the spectacle. If we look at futures real quick, thank you. Just sitting, hasn't really done anything since like the equity markets closed. So still hovering at 400. So if we were to open right now, SPY would open at 400. We do have this particular distribution line catching up though, and this has been very key to watching how this whole thing moves. So if we extrapolate where the trend is heading for that distribution line and then take a trend of what price has been doing as of recent and see where they intersect, we see that takes place about an hour before pre-market opens. So something appears to possibly, perhaps, potentially, maybe plausibly being going to happen around 4 a.m. Eastern. So if there were to be, an equity gap up or some form of arbitrage between, indice futures and actual raw underlying, this would be the time. And that would be, time to reaccumulate from like an institutional standpoint, maybe. So that could facilitate, the next leg up. if we kind of look at it like this. Now, considering that the meeting minutes come out tomorrow, and this whole entire move up has been off of like no volume, I'll illustrate that real quick. This has been such a like. This is like, look at this. Look at the volume, dude. This is nothing, nothing, and it's just been declining day after day after day after day. So this is looking really weak. If we don't see a volume backed up thrust tomorrow that takes us above like 405, I want to say, it's not going to be good. And I think that the meeting minutes will bring us down and probably start the endeavor down to that 385 range, I want to say. If the meeting minutes are good, though, I'll see y'all at 420. You know, unfortunately, 420 was a little late because, you know, Thanksgiving is Thursday. So I don't know. You know, I like smoking weed and eating food. So 420 was a little late, but if it even happens. But yeah. I don't like the way this looks very top heavy, and this looks like redistribution. This looks like just more selling at a markup. So, if we take the trend line, this expanding pattern, you know, this is not healthy. This does not look healthy. This whole entire like move up is like a limp, flaccid member. This is not sustainable. So, you know, you'd have room theoretically up to 409, if that. There just needs to be volume. Accumulation, the nearest on the daily is sitting all the way at 380. Distribution sitting at 397. If we go to the 4-hour, 390 would be like the next major target that we would catch off of. Accumulation wise, though, like we're still sitting at 370s. So kind of, I don't know. It's gonna be really weird. Either we get like this actual pump going into the end of the year, or we see 380 again, and then a pump. So, yeah. Amy, actually looking good. Still needs to see some movement up. You know, volume has continued to decline, and instead of going like straight back down, it's actually been holding this range really well. And this looks like a descending wedge. So this is actually a good pattern to see. This is like a giant ice pick, as we would call it back in the day. Yeah, that 4-hour distribution has been the bane of Amy's existence as of late. This thing just keeps getting slapped repeatedly off of that 4-hour distribution. So, you know, ironically enough, this is trending downward with the descending wedge. If we were to like extrapolate that line, like assume where it would be in the future based off its current trend, you can see that it is actually riding down into the descending wedge with us. And then if we take the extrapolation of the accumulation line, I'll get rid of the original descending wedge. It would meet about at 684, and that would be next Monday. Ish. So, as far as what the trend says, you know, this kind of looks good. This kind of looks good. Not bad. We're gonna have to see going forward. This is extremely reliant on SPY, by the way, so that's gonna be pretty important to just consider here. Jimbo looking frothy. IMO. This is daily distribution trigger sitting at what is $30. No, it should. Did it change? I think it changed because we had the close actually happen. $30 is the current like time to take off number. The 4-hour, we also have a double cluster sitting at 2850-ish. So that can easily go from breaking through both levels of that 4-hour. Sorry, hairball, from eating all this pussy. So that double cluster can easily give us momentum that sends us straight through the daily. In which case you would see like $40 pretty quick. Bouncing off of accumulation, you know, the typical situation here. The 1 hour, yeah, riding accumulation actually. That's good to see. That's actually really good to see. And the last time it rode up on the accumulation, we saw a pretty massive movement, 17.5%. So, yeah, and then a triple no, more of a double cluster from 2730 up to 28. So that would be more like ignition fuel to get to the double cluster on the 4-hour and then the cluster on the daily. Triple cluster on the 30-minute. That's nice. That's really nice. And just been riding distribution, it looks like. Oh, that's nasty. I didn't realize. Ooh. I turned off extended trading hours. This looks good. Look at that. Literally squeezing on the 5-minute. About the 15. Oh, damn. 30. Not a whole lot there. 1 hour. No. 4-hour. Yeah, kind of same sitch. Yeah. So, Tezzy up 1.2%. This thing is gonna go to 120. I swear. Still a lot of room to go. Appears to be catching on the midline of accumulation and distribution. Looks like there's a floor sitting at 157, but I think it's going to go lower than that. We'll have to see. Yeah. Yeah. What else? That's pretty much it. Bitcoin up 1.5%. Doge up 4.5%. Oh, that bounced. Jesus. That's nice. That's fucking nice. Look at that. Look at that. The double bounce. Albeit it's a double bottom, but still it was calling for those levels. That's insane. For the weekly. That rejection. Jeez. Monthly? Huh. Interessante. Interessante. Huh. This kind of looks like redistribution, not gonna lie. Yeah. Oh, it literally squeezed. Look at that. Literally squeezed. Accumulation and distribution, and then flew up and got rejected at distribution on the 30 minutes. So this might be reaccumulation, I would say. Wow, would you look at that? Look at the rejection. It's crazy. Yeah. Looks like it still wants to move. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Leave it there. Sorry for the late upload. Hopefully we'll be getting these out earlier in the near future. So yeah. In the meantime, love y'all and stay black.